The Johnsky is a YouTube channel run by and run for people over the age of 13. People under the age of 13 should click off of this video right now, or watch with a parent or guardian. Viewer discretion is advised.
You don't scare me!
Militant Stricken to Namelessman. My name is King Prime and welcome back to another video here on the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at another Fortnite Master Grade Series figure, that being the Fortnite Master Grade Series 2, the Foundation. Now, but before we take a look at the figure itself, let's take a look at the packaging. It comes in first off, we have a nice portrait of the thumbnail for the Foundation skin right there on the side. It has his name done up in that nice foily blue printing, which is also very nice. Down at the bottom has Fortnite Master Grade Series done up in silver foil, as well as a blue line going right through that Fortnite trade. 7 pieces, Jazzware trades. There's the display window for the figure up at the top, 28 points of articulation. On the side there, it just says Fortnite. On the other side, number 262, which is a funny number, as well as Master Grade Series 2. Fortnite on the other side. On the back here, we have that authentic Fortnite sticker, as well as the Epic and Fortnite logos. A full picture of the dark variant of the Foundation skin. Fortnite Master Grade Series logo there, again, in that silver foil, as well as the Foundation dark in that blue foil. We have the other figures in this series. On the inside of the packaging, we do have the description for the Foundation's skin. His mission is everything, leader of the 7. On the inside, of course, we do have another very nice, shiny, foily picture of the Foundation's face, as well as everything that comes with the figure. That's pretty much it for the packaging. I say it in every single video, my friends, you only really care about the packaging if you're a carded collector, of which I am not. I'm here to open toys and review them, and that is just what I'm going to do. Freeze frame.
Where you go, I go. Will you see it? Where you go, I go.
Freeze frame, unfreeze, and here is the Foundation out of the packaging. But before we take a look at him himself, we will take a look at his accessories. So, leading off here, we do have the Foundation's mantle back bling, which has a little logo on the back of it, which it has in the game. I'm not quite sure what this stands for. I'm sure any Fortnite lore junkie could inform me, and I encourage that down below. I just do not know personally what it means. On the back here, though, of course, the Foundation can wear it. This clear little piece of plastic here pops out and can plug into this back hole, and then the cape can just drape over his shoulder. It looks kind of wonky, but it actually isn't too bad. It does at least complete the effect of being the Foundation who has that mantle draped over his shoulder. I just think that this gap is not the greatest. I'm sure anybody with, some glue could fix that up, but personally, I don't care enough. To quote A1 Todd Howard, it just works, and I'm not too pressed about it. The next accessory, of course, that the Foundation comes with is his plasma spike harvesting tool, which is right here, done up in red and white. This is supposed to be like an energy weapon, so I don't know why they didn't make this piece clear red or transparent red and then put the white over it. Just having it be solid red looks kind of weird. It looks like a solid piece or a solid item, but it's not the worst thing. And of course, this can just attach to the Foundation's arm, so he can have that. The final accessory that is a weapon, at least, that the Foundation comes with is, of course, the 0-point rifle, which we see the Foundation use in all these cinematics for Chapter 3. And, of course, he can just hold this like so. He has a better grip on it than any figure than I've seen. Probably the best you're going to get with this figure. It's not the worst, but you can't really have him in a shooting pose. But any, time the Foundation is holding the rifle in the game, at least, he's holding it kind of like this. So it's not that bad, and at least it's not going to fall out anytime soon, which is good. The last 3 accessories that the Foundation actually comes with, of course, is his helmets. From left to right, we have the Tactical helmet, the Tech Elite helmet, and the Ultimate helmet. And they all look pretty great, just with the sculpting themselves. They have that little silver on the side, and then that red printing on the front. This is actually a clear piece of plastic that is making up the dome of the helmet, and some might wonder why that is. I'll show that off in a little bit, and I'll show you what the heads look like on the Foundation himself when we look at the figure itself, which is pretty cool. It's not my favorite by any means, to be completely honest. The things that really hinders this figure for me is the articulation. Much like The Rock himself, he has kind of limited articulation because of how freaking jacked he is. He hit the roids a little bit too hard, and now he can't really bend his arms down. His traps are too large, which is pretty funny to me, at least. But getting close to look at this figure, he does have some nice dark gray, kind of almost gunmetal detailing going all the way down either side of his body into these silver armor details, which make up the other half on this arm, as well as his thighs going all the way down to his legs with some little red details in there, which is pretty nice. He does have some awesome belt details on his waist and things like that. Going around the back of him, and little pieces of underseat peeking through, like on his right arm. As for the articulation of this figure, he does have some less than standard articulation, with only a ball joint at the head, nothing to look up or down, and I'll show you exactly why in a minute or two. He also has a pretty good range of motion at the shoulder. It can go all the way around, even though it is, again, like I said, limited by too much trap in there, so he can't put his arms all the way down. That can be modified with a Dremel. I just wouldn't recommend doing it. Again, I'll tell you why in a minute. He does have a elbow bend on both sides, as well as an elbow swivel, and a rotation at the wrist, as well as an in and out joint on the left hand, and an up and down on the right. He has absolutely nothing at the body. This entire body is one single piece, so nothing at the waist proper or the abs, which is really unfortunate. But he does still have that great Fortnite Jazzwares leg joints. He does have forward motion and backwards motion. This leg is pretty much hindered by those straps there, but the articulation is still there. He also has an upper thigh cut, as well as those nice ball jointed hips, and mind the angle there. He does have double jointed knees, as well as an ankle pivot and an down and up ankle bend, which is pretty good and clicky. So not the greatest of articulation for the foundation here, but I think the gimmick for this figure kind of comes in with what I've been waiting to show you for a couple of minutes now. I will pull the heads aside here. So the main gimmick for this figure is, if you come around to the back here, you might have seen me show it off a little bit. You see a battery compartment with a screw in there, which kind of is disguised by all the silver, but you see a switch right here, and if you flip on that switch, I'll turn off the light, his head lights up, which, as you can see, has kind of a glowing effect there, and that is an absolutely awesome feature. Unfortunately, the light does kind of go through the silver metal parts there on the sides of his helmet, but as to make up just the default visor as well as the other three, which I will show you in a second, it absolutely works wonders. This is such a cool effect, and I wish that the other members of the 7 would have gotten the same treatment. But to show you what the other ones look like, I'll take off his default visor. And as you can see, the head there is just a ball joint. There is no actual neck joint, so you can't look up or down. I will put on the tactical visor. As you can see, that's how that looks. Which kind of does look like the Scientist a little bit, to be completely honest, but it is not bad at all. Here is the Combat Elite visor on there, which again looks very good. Kind of looks like Spider-Man 2099 in a way, with those two details right there. And then here is, of course, the Ultimate visor, which is extremely killer, absolutely fantastic looking. This is definitely the coolest part of this figure, and its saving grace, at least in my opinion. But enough of me waffling about this figure. Let me turn it off real quick, and we'll get onto a comparison so I can show you how the foundation looks like to some other figures. Freeze frame.
Wait. You put your right foot in, right foot.
Freeze frame on freeze. So here is the foundation next to the golden standard of action figures himself, the Vintage Collection Dark Times Darth Vader. Here he is next to our previous Fortnite Master Grade Series figure review, the Master Grade Series 2 Southpaw. Here he is next to a Vitruvian Hax Skeleton, who is considerably shorter than him, which is funny. And here he is next to a Star Wars The Vintage Collection Mandalorian of my own design. As you can see, he's taller than him too. So, just because of the scaling differences between the Vintage Collection and the Fortnite figures, which are in the 4-inch scale, there is just a little bit of discrepancy here, but the foundation is huge, so it makes sense that he'd be taller than all these figures. That's it for the comparison. Let's get on to my final thoughts so I can tell you exactly what I think about this figure. Freeze frame. Freeze frame, unfreeze. So overall, this figure is pretty alright. There's just a few things that make me not really like it all that much. First of all is, of course, the lack of articulation in the chest and the head. Just really irks me. Another thing is that since this is the penultimate figure for the 7 line, we just have the origin after this. Why they chose to put him in his dark variant instead of the one that matches more accurately the 7's motif baffles me. I don't know why they didn't choose the other one. Another thing is why they didn't include an alternate head, even though I'm not a fan of The Rock. Why they didn't choose to include his unmasked variant is also a question that I will never have answered anytime soon. The final thing is that this figure can't really put his arms down. This is the lowest for his left arm here that you can actually get it to pose, which is really annoying when you're trying to pose it in anything more than just fighting stance. If you want him in a casual stance, good luck, because he's going to look like a fucking gorilla otherwise. I had a lot of hopes for this figure, and while in many ways they have been lived up to, in many other ways they haven't. I would have loved to have had the pistol that he gave Jonesy in that trailer. I'd have loved to have seen any of the other things I literally just talked about. And I also would have loved to have seen this figure get a regular release because the Master Grade series has been kind of hard to get a hold of. And I understand why this figure was a Master Grade series figure. And I do think that with the gimmicks and the accessories that we've gotten that are fully painted and detailed, that this figure deserves to be in the Master Grade series. It's just that that series has been so hard to find, and therefore this figure is going to be, for many people, unobtainium. If what I said hasn't dissuaded you, then go ahead and pick this figure up. I am just here to give my personal opinion of the figure. If you like the Foundation, or you like the 7, or the Fortnite in general, make sure you share this video with your friends, share it with the Facebook groups, all that good stuff. If you like the content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. Keeps helping the channel grow, keeps helping me pump out this content. That's going to be pretty much it for this time, my friends. Thank you all so very much for watching, and as always, peace.